Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be doing an SSD upgrade to the ASUS TF700T. So you're probably wondering why I'm putting one in here and not just throwing this thing out, because it's only got like 2 gigabytes of RAM, it's an Atom processor, it's only 32-bit. So Windows 10 is going to be the last OS on here because Windows 11 or anything else will not support it at all. So it's that much of a potato. Oh, and also the SSD is probably soldered onto the board. It probably doesn't have an actual proper drive, which is only 30 gigabytes size, only 30 gigs. So that's one of the reasons why I also got like 120 some gigabyte SD card on the side here, which I have all the programs on, and that's where that goes. But it's also nice to have one of these in here. So I'm going to actually take this thing apart and go from there. Thinking about it now, I don't even think this thing even has an SSD soldered onto the board itself. It's probably got one of these little cards right here. These little SD cards that are probably soldered onto it. Something cheap, some type of memory flash that's on there. That's 30 gigs only. Yeah, they built these things to be really cheap, and they were all right for the price at the time. It's probably the reason why a lot of people did buy them. But let's go ahead and open this thing up and take that hard drive out. This kind of neat little feature here. It's one of the reasons why they call it a transformer, is because you can take it apart like that. We'll put you off to the side because we are going to work on this section right here. It's just a keyboard and a hard drive that's inside of it. There's no battery or anything like that. It would be nice if they would have added an extra battery in here. But the Atom processor is actually not too bad for battery life. I think this thing's got like, what is it, 12 to 16 hours. This one here, this battery really hasn't been used at all. This thing mostly sat until recently. I decided that, maybe I'll start using it, and I realized this thing's actually not too bad. It's pretty good for what it can actually do. It's slow at what it can do, but it's not too bad. If you want to have something that just browse the web, or like audio record, or just some basic features, this thing can do it. Might take you a while to get it started, but it's not too bad. So yeah, this will never get another operating system past Windows 10 because Microsoft stopped supporting 32-bit operating systems, and I don't even know if Linux will continue with that. Hopefully they will. If they don't, then that's going to be kind of a bummer. So yeah, Windows 10 will be the last on here, which this originally had Windows 8. This version here actually just had 8.1. I don't think I did an update. I can't remember if it was originally Windows 8, and then I updated to 8.1. I don't know. That was a long time ago. Alright. I don't really like how these screws are underneath these feet here, because eventually the feet will come off. I'll have to find something else to put them on there, just in case the feet actually do come off. One stubborn screw. Okay, well, you're just going to have to sit in there. So there is a seam right here that I got to pop it open. Let's grab some tools. Let's use this one right here. Don't really want to scratch it up too much, so I'm going to have to just be careful. The edges are a little tough, but it's popping open. That one's a little tough right there. I'll leave that for now and go around. And yeah, that popped open a lot easier now. And here should pop open. Yeah. Yeah. Easy enough. So let's move you here. That's where I'm going to work on it. Back there. So there's the drive itself. I'm going to get rid of you. I've already pulled all the data off of it. so I don't need it anymore. Yeah, look at this. They could have put another battery right here. They should have, but you know, it's all about the costs. Got to keep them low. All right. And I should just slide out and up a bit. There we are. What's in here? A brand I never even heard of. HGST. Now, I saw a lot of weird drives before, but this is one of them. Here, let's get some autofocus so you can see it better. Only 5,400 RPM. And the Brio camera sucks for autofocus. There we are. Well, that's going to have to do. But, yeah, I've never heard of that brand before. That's strange. But anyway, let's move you off to the side. Oh. One of the feet ended up going on it. So let's open this up. Yeah, give me a moment. Alrighty. See you there. Western Digital. 500 gig. Feels like there's nothing even in it. It's so light. Remove before installing. Alrighty. Flip it upside down. It's nice looking. I'm used to Samsung drives. Slide you on in. Put the screws in. I ended up doing a speed test on the mechanical hard drive. I'll do it with the SSD as well, just to see if there's any performance improvements on here, which I'm sure there will be. Okay, this screw's being stubborn. There we are. This is going to be tricky because of that hinge. There we are. It went in. There we go. So the SSD is now in. I won't have to worry about a mechanical drive inside of it. If you're like shaking it, moving it around or whatnot, you don't want those G forces on a platter. Doesn't exist on here. It's not mechanical. It's got a USB 3.0 port. At least that better be 3.0. That's the only USB port this thing has. But yeah, they should have put another battery in here. What the hell's going on with this one screw? It's crooked. There's a crooked screw right there. And another one. Somebody's putting in screws crooked. It's not crooked anymore. All right. Let's put the cover on. I'll double check the cover. Yeah, they could have put another battery in here, but they didn't do it. Oh well. Okay. Fast and simple to do. Anybody can do this. Okay, now I'm putting in screws crooked. Don't go in crooked. There we are. That's better. There we go. Everything's back together. Looks great. exactly what I want. Let's put the tablet back in. The problem is with this tablet, oh, look at all the fingerprints. Nosy. It's a lot. It's kind of make it look a little better. This thing's in pretty good shape. It's because it's never really been used at all. This sat. Alright. Clip you in. Turn it on. Flip it like this so you can see it. Might blue screen, I don't know. It's because I pulled the card out here and the drive has been replaced, so you never know. It might not. Oh boy. Let's turn you off. Whoops. Let's cut power. Didn't blue screen, so that's good. Let's see if it actually shows up. Let me just get this thing plugged into my capture card and then we can see it from there. I got my capture card up and running now, so we can flip on over to that. There it is. Let's change the resolution on the screen now. This is the original size for the screen, but let's extend displays. Keep changes. And we want to make the second screen. Here, you can see it right here. We'll make the second screen as default. Open up computer. Here it is. Now we don't see that drive yet. Not there. So what I'm going to have to do is right click. Go to disk management. We're going to have to format it. Yes, we're fine with that. So that's not the drive. Here it is. This is the drive. Do simple volume. Next. And it'll stay drive E, which is perfect. NTFS. Let's gotta think of a name here. It's always the hard part, is the name. I'll just call it data. That works. Good enough. Hit next. Finish. And there it is. So now it should say, yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's do a test on that drive. So I'm going to open up Crystal Disk Mark here. And this is on drive E. We did say that was E, right? Let's just double check to make sure. Whoops, I opened up the browser by accident. There's a little bit of a delay because I'm looking at the capture card for this. Here we are. So yeah, it was drive E. So let's do runtime. Let's run it. While it's running, I did do a test already with the hard drive before I started this. So let's have a look at the speed differences here. Already it's better performance. All right, so the results are in. There we are. We got your read and write. Of course, it's going to be a lot faster. It's an SSD. That's to be expected. But yeah, it's a lot better. It's not a mechanical drive. It will be faster. It won't use as much power, having to continuously spin up the platters and using the actuator arm constantly to read and write. So yeah, it's just better in general for this thing. I'm kind of curious to see how much more it's going to save on the battery. But yeah, there we go. I want to actually do a review of this thing eventually. It's not a bad device. Like I said, it is slow, but it's not bad for what you can do with it. Like if you want to just do basic things, it will do it. But yeah, Windows support for this thing is going to end here soon. Windows 10 is almost dead, unfortunately. But I guess you can always install Linux if there's a 32-bit version of it. These things are fairly cheap yet, if you can find them online. This is strange though. I've never seen a drive like this. HGST. I'm gonna have to look that up in a bit. But anyway, I thought I would share this video with you. Just replacing a drive with an SSD. And yeah, I should do a review sometime soon. But there you go. Hopefully you liked the video. Please do rate, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.